Let me be honest with you, my friend. Procrastination is the most expensive habit in the world. It doesn't take money from your wallet today, but it steals your dreams, your confidence, your peace of mind. And the cruel part? You only realize the bill later. You don't feel it while you're scrolling TikTok or rearranging your desk for the fifth time. You feel it when a year goes by and you're still in the same place. You feel it when someone else launches the thing you kept talking about. You feel it when you realize you've been waiting for the perfect moment that never shows up. And that's why I'm telling you straight. Procrastination is scarier than failure. Because failure at least gives you a result, a lesson, a bruise you can learn from. Procrastination just sits there, smiling while it robs you blind. And I don't want that for you. I don't want you to waste years the way I did. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 7 things, real things, I did to kill procrastination for good. Not hacks, not gimmicks, not some YouTuber morning routine where you have to drink yak milk at 4 a.m. These are battle-tested, human, messy, but effective shifts that changed everything for me. And if you let them, they'll change everything for you too. So let's dive in. Number 1, I learned to shrink the battlefield. Because here's the truth. Procrastination doesn't happen when things are small. Nobody procrastinates brushing their teeth. Nobody procrastinates tying their shoes. You procrastinate writing the book, starting the business, fixing your health, because your brain looks at the giant monster and says, nope, too big, let's hide. It's not that you don't want to do it, it's that your brain can't figure out where to start. So it panics. And when your brain panics, it defaults to distraction. That's why you find yourself on YouTube learning about ancient Viking shipbuilding instead of opening a Word doc. So what I did was this. I made things small. Stupid small. Laughably small. Not write a book. Just open the Google Doc and write one ugly paragraph. Not get fit. Just do 5 push-ups while the coffee brews. Not fix my finances. Just look at one bill for 5 minutes. And here's the trick. Once you start small, momentum takes over. You tell yourself you'll write 1 sentence, and suddenly you've written 2 pages. You say 5 push-ups, and you end up doing 20. The hardest part is starting, and shrinking the battlefield tricks your brain into starting. That's the first weapon I used. Number 2, I killed the infinite to-do list. You know what I'm talking about. The list that has 47 tasks, and you'll never finish it, and it mocks you every time you open it. To-do lists are like Netflix, infinite, overwhelming, and you'll spend more time scrolling through the options than actually doing the thing. So I switched to what I call the must-do list, just 3 things a day, and that's it. If I get those 3 done, I win. If I do extra, bonus points. But I never go to bed a failure because 3 things are always possible, and that forced me to prioritize. It made me ask, what actually moves the needle? Because here's the truth. Most people procrastinate not because they're lazy, but because they're drowning in meaningless tasks. They'll answer emails for 3 hours, feeling productive, but deep down, they know nothing important actually got done. That's why President Eisenhower, who literally managed a world war, created the Eisenhower matrix, urgent versus important. If it's not important, don't do it. If it's not urgent, schedule it. And for me, that meant every morning I asked myself, if I only get 3 things done today, what would make me proud tonight? And I did those. No more lists that look like ancient scrolls. Number 3, I stopped negotiating with my feelings. This one might hurt, but hear me out. Most people procrastinate because they wait until they feel like it. And let me save you a couple decades of your life. You will never feel like it. The brain is not designed for motivation, it's designed for survival, which means it will always prioritize what's comfortable, safe, and easy. If you're waiting to feel motivated before you act, you're basically waiting for lightning to strike. So I started treating myself like an employee. If I tell an employee to clock in at 9, they don't say, well, I don't feel like it today. They clock in. I made rules for myself, non-negotiables. I write at this time, I work out at this time. And I do it regardless of feelings. Because here's the secret. Motivation doesn't cause action. Action causes motivation. You start and then the feelings show up. You move first, the emotions follow. Think about brushing your teeth. Do you wait until you feel inspired to brush your teeth? No. You just do it because it's the rule. That's how I started treating my goals, like hygiene for my future. Number 4, the 10-minute rule. This one saved my life. I told myself, fine, you don't want to do it? Just do it for 10 minutes. That's it. Then quit if you hate it. And 9 times out of 10, once you start, you don't want to stop. Because the brain hates starting, but loves finishing. It's like Pringles, you can't eat one. You say 10 minutes, and suddenly 2 hours go by. That's because momentum is the real drug. Starting is friction. Continuing is flow. And once I realized that, procrastination lost half its power. I stopped telling myself I had to finish the whole mountain. I just told myself I had to take one step. And one step leads to 2, and suddenly you're climbing without even realizing it. Number 5, I deleted future me as a contact. You know how you always tell yourself, future me will handle it? Yeah, future me is an idiot. Future me is just as tired, distracted, and whiny as present me. Future me does not exist. It's always just you, right now. So I stopped outsourcing my life to some imaginary superhero version of me who wakes up at 5 a.m., meal preps quinoa, and smiles while paying bills. That person doesn't exist. So my new rule was simple. If something takes less than 5 minutes, I do it now. No more passing it along to the fake future guy. No more piling tomorrow's plate higher than today's, because here's the truth. Your life isn't happening later. Later is a lie. Your life is happening now. If you keep outsourcing to later, you never actually live it. Number 6, I started weaponizing my environment. Because willpower is a battery, my friend, and it drains. If you're relying on willpower to beat procrastination, you already lost. The environment always wins. You ever notice how it's easier to focus in a library than in your bedroom? Same brain, different environment. So I engineered my surroundings. I put my phone in another room. I deleted apps that wasted my time. I made the thing I wanted to do easier to start and the thing I didn't want to do harder to access. That's why gyms exist. It's not impossible to work out at home, but the gym is a frictionless environment designed for one thing, not being a potato. So I built little gyms in my life. A gym for writing, a gym for working, a gym for resting. I made my environment do the heavy lifting, so my brain didn't have to. Number 7, and this one was the knockout punch. I started treating procrastination as disrespect. Not weakness, not laziness, disrespect. Every time I procrastinated, I was telling my future self, you don't matter, your peace doesn't matter, your dreams don't matter. That hit me hard, because when you really love someone, you don't disrespect them like that. And I realized if I loved my future self, if I respected the person I was trying to become, I had to stop throwing trash on their front lawn. That's what procrastination is. It's leaving your future self to clean up your mess. And once I saw it that way, procrastination stopped being funny. It stopped being a cute little quirk I joke about with friends, and it became an insult I refused to accept. Now, let me tell you a story. Leonardo da Vinci, the genius himself, was a procrastinator. He took 16 years to paint the Mona Lisa's lips. 16 years. His patrons wanted to strangle him. But here's the difference. When he procrastinated on one thing, he poured himself into another. Anatomy, engineering, nature, inventions. His procrastination was still feeding his genius. That's why his work exploded with brilliance. Meanwhile, your procrastination is probably just feeding TikTok. And that's the difference between Da Vinci procrastination and goldfish procrastination. If you're going to procrastinate, at least procrastinate on something that makes you smarter, stronger, better. But ideally, stop procrastinating altogether. Because unlike Da Vinci, you don't have Florence paying your bills while you daydream. Pause for a second here. Drop one word in the comments that describes how this hits you right now. Just one word. Because saying it out loud makes it real. Now, back to the truth. Procrastination is the most expensive hobby in the world. It costs opportunities, it costs self-respect, it costs time you'll never get back. And the bill always comes later with interest. If you're building the version of you who doesn't run from truth, subscribe. You're going to need this. And here's the final truth I'll leave you with. Procrastination dies the moment you stop worshiping comfort. You think the enemy is time, but it's not. Time doesn't care. The enemy is the sneaky little belief that later will be easier, Later won't be easier. Later will be busier. Later will be older. Later will be tired. Later will be too late. The only time you'll ever have is now. And if you clear the glass of distraction and fear every single day, you'll realize the work you wanted to do, the life you wanted to build, the person you wanted to become, they were right there waiting. So don't wait. Don't give away your future to the fake god of later. That's how I killed procrastination for good. And it's how you can too, my friend.